Hi soulmates, welcome to another wonderful tutorial. So if this is the first time you are joining us, welcome. My name is Jennifer. So in today's class, we are making a bubu gown with a twist because we are adding Aso Oke and we are using the Aso Oke to do shirt collar and facing. So if this is something you wish to learn, kindly stick to the end of this video. Now, the first thing you will do is to fold your fabric. In this case, I'm using Mikado. You can use crepe also. I'm using 2.5 yards of Mikado. So I'll go ahead and fold it into 4 parts. When I've done that now, then the next thing is to now measure 1 inch, which will act as our borderline. That means all our measurement will start from that 1 inch point. So I'll just mark it across and roll it. So after rolling it now, I'll now measure my neck width. It's 3 inches. Since it's a shirt collar, I'll go down by 1.5. So the neck width, 3 inches wide, 1.5 inch deep. So I'll measure it. From then I'm going to measure my shoulder measurement divided by 2. So my shoulder measurement is 16, divided by 2 is 8 inches. Then you're now going to add your sleeve length, whatever you want to use for your sleeve length. In this case, I'm using 6.5 because I know that we still add extra. The Ashoke, I'll still add it at facing and to give it extra length. But I'll use half inch to join the sleeve to the Ashoke facing. So I'll make it 7 inches in total. So I'm now going to measure all that. That's 7 inches plus 6 inches. I'll measure it down again. I'll replicate the same measurement. I'll measure it down. So when I'm done like that, I'm going to connect everything together. So after doing that now, the next thing I want to do is to measure, we should come down by 1.5 inch. It depends on you. Some people use 1 inch, some people use 1.5 to make the shoulder slopey. But in this case, I'm using 1.5 inch. I will now connect it to that neck width part. So after connecting it now, our bubu is taking shape. So nice. The next thing to do is to get our sleeve opening. I want to go down by 10 inches. After doing that, next thing you want to do is to measure the full length plus where you remove 1.5. Just measure it down. All I got was 12 inches. So I'm now 11.5. So I'll go down by 12 inches. That is half inch below the sleeve opening. That is where you are now going to impute your hip divided by 4 plus any allowance you need for your bubu. So I'm going to impute my hips now. Divided by 4 is 11.25. Then after doing that, I'm now going to add allowance to make my bubu big. I don't want it to be too big, so I'm adding 2.5 inch. I'll use half inch to sew it. So the allowance there will now be 2 inches. So that measurement I measured at the bust area, that's what you are going to maintain throughout. So you are now going to measure it throughout. So let me do that now. So after measuring it, maintaining my measurement I used from the bust down. So I'm now going to cut it out. At the shoulder line, I'm going to add half inch. So I'll just cut it out. So after cutting it out now, we are going to separate it. So I'll remove the back, I'll keep it aside. So we'll not be left with the front part. So I'll just go ahead and rearrange it well so that everything will align because I want to recut the neck of the front. So I'm going to come down by 1.5 inch again. So that means the neck, the depth of the neck will now be 3 inches. No, we remove 1.5 earlier. So I'm just going to recut it. So 1.5 before plus 1.5 now, that's 3 inches for the depth. It doesn't have to be too deep because it's a shirt collar. So now I'm going to come down. This one depends on you how deep you want it to be. But me, I'm going to come down by 4 inches. That's the slit. I'm just going to open it up. Then we're through with the cutting of the front part. So the depth is 3 inches. I opened it up by 4 inches. Now I'm now going to bring my ashoke. I've gone ahead to join the ashoke together. If you don't know how to join the ashoke, I'm going to do a video, a link of how to join ashoke together. So I've done that now. So I'm just going to fold it into two and I'll place it underneath my bubu. I'll place it so that I'll be able to cut out the facing for the front part. So I'm just arranging it, then I'll place it underneath. For the depth of the ashoke, it depends on you. Me, I'm using 19 inches. Some people will use 17. So it just depends on you. You can make it deeper, but it should not be too deep. At least you should get to your waistline. So my waistline is 17 inches. So I just made it 19, a bit deeper. So by the time I fold half inch in, I'll be left with 18.5. So it depends on you. So I'm just going to fold it. I'll make sure it aligns. You can use iron to iron it so that you get the midpoint. place it underneath your bubu. Then you now reshape the neck and open the slit. Do you understand? Since it's facing. Don't mind, I just use this water bottle to just guide it so it will not shift. I don't want to use pin. So I'm just going to trim out the neck. Do you understand? So you just trim out the neck. Do it gently, please. If you shift, to affect how the actual cable will align on the down part. That's why you said I'm very careful while trimming it. So I'm just going to trim out the neck. I will also trim out the shoulder so that it will align with the shoulder of the body itself. Then I'm going to open the slit by 4 inches. You know I came down by 4 inches for the actual for the bubu. So I'm doing the same thing for the ashoke. And make sure the thing align. I'll measure my 4 inches just the way I did for the bubu, and I'll open it up. So after cutting it down, let me place it on it so you will see how it looks. So this is how it's going to look. So you place it on it gently, use pin and pin it around. Just pin it so that it will guide you so it will not shake. So I'll go ahead to pin it. I'll pin the neck area so that it will stay flat, and I'm also going to pin the body on it. So let me do that now. So after pinning it, the only place you are sewing is that opening. You are just sewing the opening, just the opening. So I'm gonna have to sew it. I'm just notching it now. So I will not turn it to the right side now. So when I turn it, you turn it and you iron it flat. Can you see it? So I only sew the opening. I didn't sew the neck round because we are going to use collar to cover it. So it's just the opening. So after doing it now, the next thing you want to do is to use your pins and just secure the neck. You see, I've pinned mine around, and you just pin the ashoke to the bubu, so it will be easier for you to sew. Then after doing that, you sew it the four corner. You don't need to fold the sides in because the two sides are the edge of the ashoke, so it will not fray. But the down part, you are going to fold it in by half an inch, and you sew it around. So let me do that now and come and show you. So the next you want to do now is to bring the back side. The right side of the back will be facing the right side of the front. That is after you've sewn the ashoke to the bubu. Then you just hold it by half an inch. Hold it on both sides. So after you've sewn it by half an inch, make sure you weave it so that it will not fray. Let's do it now. I'll show you the end result. So I've gone ahead to hold it. Can you see how it looks? I've also gone ahead to weave it. So now let's add the ashoke to the hand part. I've gone ahead to cut out the length of the opening of the sleeve. I've cut out the exact same length for ashoke. So I'll start from the wrong side. I'll place it just the way I'm showing you now on the wrong side of the fabric and just sew it by half an inch. After doing that, I will show you the next thing to do. So let me do it now and come back to show you. So I'm gonna ahead to sew it now. So now, can you see how it's knit from the back? So you are now going to turn it to the front part now. So let me open it up. Now you are just going to fold it. You now place your ashoke on top of the front part to close up that half an inch you sewn earlier. If you do it this way, your sleeve opening will be neat front and back. I've done the other side of camera, so let me show you how it looks like if you do it well. And if you turn the back, you see that it's neat both in and out. So after doing that, the next thing you want to do now is to just close up your bubu. And if you are adding slits, make sure you add slits at the knee area. You sew it up to the knee point and you stop. This one I'm adding slit, so anything I'm sewing it up to the knee point and I'll stop there. So I've gone ahead to close it up and I stopped my slit at my knee line. So this is how the slit looks like. So let me explain how you do the slit for those that don't know how to do it with the other side. So you first of all fold in the down part. I folded it in by 1 inch. If you weave it, so it will be very easy for you. See that I've weaved it already, so the body is neat. You're just going to open your slit, fold it by half an inch, get to the slit end, open it up and sew it the other way, and you are done with the bodies of this cloth. Now let's go to the neck area. The first thing you want to do is to measure the length of your neck. Start from one end gradually. Just be calm. Take the measurement round and measure it round. Whatever you get, you note it. In this instance, after measuring it round, you see that I'm not dragging it, I'm taking it gently. So I got 19 and a half. So I'm going to bring my gum stay. I'm using gum stay now, so I'll just fold it into two. So measure on gum stay or paper. prefer a big gum stay so you don't have to transfer anymore. And so I'm going to measure, I got 19 and a half. So I'm just going to get the midpoint of 19 and a half. I'm just measuring my tape rule. After getting it, I'm going to put down the measurement of that 19 and a half. That is half of 19 and a half. So I want to cut out both the collar itself and the collar stand. So I'm getting the half point of 19 and a half. After measuring it, I will just mark it aside. So after doing that, now I'm going to get the height of my collar. Since this is Bubu, I don't want the collar to be too wide. So I'm making my collar itself, the height of my collar to be 2 inches. But if it's normal shirt, we can use 3 inches. But this is Bubu and it's actually a stick. If I make it too high, too long, the thing will be standing and it will be ugly. So after doing that, the next thing you want to do now, that measurement, you are going to measure that length. You divide it by 2 once more. That is 19 and a half. I divided it by 2. I'm now still going to get the midpoint of half of 19 and a half. So after getting it now, the next thing you want to do is to come up by half an inch from that midpoint. Come up by half an inch. You are supposed to use your curved ruler to do it, but I think I can still use it with my friend. So you just curve it to that midpoint you got earlier. After coming up by half an inch, curve it to that midpoint you got earlier. If you curve it very well, it's supposed to make sense. So after doing that, now you're now going to come in by 1 inches. Do you understand? Just come in by 1 inches. Then you connect it so that it will form this kind of V. Do you understand? To form this kind of V. So I've connected it. Now we are done. You cannot cut it out. Our collar itself is ready. So you can just cut it out. So this is how it looks. Do you understand? So I'm using gum stay. So let's keep it aside now. Now let's cut out our collar stand. So you are also going to get the midpoint. We extended the line up earlier. So you are going to get the midpoint also, like you did for the collar. So you get the midpoint. So I just folded my tape into two and I got the midpoint. So after doing that now, I want my collar stand to be 1 inches wide. The length of my collar stand to be 1 inches. But before I do that, from the edge now, I'm going to come up by half an inch. So you come up by half an inch. So you now connect it to that midpoint you got earlier. I'm supposed to use a curved ruler for this, but I'm using my free hand, so I'm just connecting it. So it will give you this curve because our neck is not straight, it's supposed to be curvy. So that's what we are doing now. So after doing that, now I want my collar stand to be the height of my collar stand to be 1 inches. So I'm from that point now. That's where I'll measure my 1 inch from. Please take note of where I kept my tape rule. So from the midpoint, I'll come up by 1 inches. From the edge, I'll come up by 1 inches also. So I'm going to connect those 3 points together. If you have a ruler, it will be faster. But my ruler is far away and I'm already running late. So let's just use freehand. But if you have a ruler, a curved ruler, it will help you. So you just connect it now. I'm just going to make the lines a bit bold. If you've watched my tutorial to this point and you've not subscribed, kindly do so so you not miss out on lovely tutorials that I put out every week. So when I've done that now, come in by half an inch. You also go down by half an inch. Or you can use your free hand to just curve it. So it will give you this nice curve. When you see color, some are always curving. So after doing that now, I can now cut it out. So take a while cutting it so that it will not shift. So be careful while cutting it. So let me show you how it looks. So this is how our collar stand look and this is how our collar look. So the next thing you want to do now is to bring your Aso Oke. So when you bring your Aso Oke, before then, Aso Oke freeze if you cut it. If you are not careful, like by the time you put scissors, it will start fraying. So to avoid that, I've gone ahead to first of all iron hair stay to my Aso Oke. In this instance, I ironed paper stay because the Aso Oke is thick already. I don't want it to be too thick. So I first of all ironed paper stay on my Aso Oke. Then after doing that, I'll now place my collar on it and iron it. I'll make sure that I leave out ½ inch round. I'll now place it on it and iron it. So I'll also place my collar stand on the Aso Oke. I'll iron it. So next thing, I've ironed both sides. Next thing I want to do now is to measure ½ inch round both for the Aso Oke and the I say both for the collar stand and the collar, because that's the half inch we used to sew it in. To just measure it round, both for the collar and the collar stand. So let me show you how it is. So I'm gonna to measure half inch round. Do you understand? So you do it half inch round. Let me show you. I hope you can see my pencil. So what you do now, you cut it out. Please, whatever you do for the collar itself, you do for the collar stand. Measure half inch round and cut it together. So let me cut it out now and show you guys. And so I've already measured half inch round. Can you see the collar, and this is the collar stand. So I'm going to recut the another one, another pair. So I've ironed them stay on the Aso Oke again. So I'm going to cut this one, the collar itself and the collar stand. So there will be two pair of each. So I'll just cut it out now and show you the next thing to do. So I'm gonna have to cut out extra pair on it. So the collar stand is two and the collar itself is two. So I'm going to place the two together, right side facing each other. So see where I'm holding it from. I'm going to hold it from the edge and close up the collar. That curved part will be opened. Do you understand? So I'm going to hold it by that half inch I added and turn it around, iron it, and I'll come and show you. So now after ironing it, this is how it looks. So you're now going to take your collar stand, the two facing each other. You are going to fold it and get the midpoint. So I've notched it. So look at what I'm doing. The side that is curved will be up. Do you understand? You now place your collar on top of one. Then you now place the second collar stand on top of the collar. So the collar will be in between the collar stand. Make sure the curved part is up. It's facing up. That curved part is up. Then you hold it, the three together. So you're now going to close it shut. Do you understand? By that half an inch, just follow my fingers, the one I'm indicating. So that half an inch, you're just going to sew it and close it up. Do you understand? So you close both sides. So the collar will be in between the collar stand. Now let's do it now. Let me show you. So now this is the result. So you are going to hold your bubu, fold the neck together and get the midpoint of the neck. To notch it so that it will be easy for you to maintain when you are sewing. So just make sure they are together, like the midpoint. You get the midpoint accurately. I'm tired already. And so you notch it. So when you notch it now, start sewing from the wrong side. You open your collar itself. You know you've notched it earlier. So you now make sure the midpoint too of the collar aligns with the neck. Can you see it? So you open it up and place it on top of the wrong side of the collar. Then you are now going to sew it round by half an inch. So after sewing it by half an inch, now let me sew it round and come and show you what's next. So I'm gonna like to say, can you see how the inside is neat now? So this is the outside. It's time for us to close up the collar now. So you're now going to turn it to the right side. I'm just trimming, these are okay, like it frays a lot. So after trimming it so that it will be neat, so you are just going to push in that half an inch. Then you now fold it in by half an inch on the right side. If you do it well, you're supposed to lay flat and you will sew it. So take your time. Fold it by half an inch and sew it around. So it will be neat from both the inside and the outside. So let me do it now. Make sure you are careful. Just calm down. Don't rush and sew collar. Fold it gently by half an inch and close it up. Now I'll show you the end result of our book. I'm done with it. So I'm done with it. This is how the neck looks. Can you see it? So I've not ironed it. I just said let me show you. I'm really tired. So this is it. See the body. So this is where we end to today's tutorial. So if you like this tutorial, kindly like, share and subscribe to this channel. Take care. Bye.